Alright, so I just got back from the new MCU movie, Captain America Brave New World, and I've got to say that I had very low expectations going into this movie after watching the trailers. That I was thoroughly surprised by the quality of it all, as it plays very differently than what I saw was advertised, and I'm starting to see that maybe that's the issue. What you are advertised with the trailer is not what actually shows up, because the main focus of these trailers was the Red Hulk, and I'm just gonna say it, spoiler alert, he's not as prevalent as you would think from the trailers, but still plays a really important role in the story. It's a pretty cool story, though. It is a spy thriller. It is all about finding out what is going on and why it's happening and who is behind it all. And the way that plays out is actually really interesting and really well done, in my personal opinion. It's interesting, it's engaging, it's exciting. It's like pretty well made in that aspect. The story is pretty solid. I'm going to give it a hand grenade score here. Now, the cinematic experience of it all is where it gets a little rough to give it a final grade. Its action set pieces are really cool and really engaging, but some of its visual effects are pretty bad. The Red Hulk, in my opinion, kinda looks bad. It just doesn't look good. And it's the only thing that doesn't really look good. There are some scenes that feel so green screen background as well that it kinda hurts. And that's like the issue. There are these grand sequences that are amazing, but then there are these moments of just, CGI, and it makes it really difficult to, determine a final grade on the cinematic outcome. So, I'm going to give it a Hot Pocket score. But it's very close to being a really good hand grenade score. It's just that the CGI in some of the scenes did take me out of the movie, because I usually don't pay attention to that as long as it looks like semi-good or it fits the rest of the movie, and those few moments don't fit the rest of the movie and it really breaks it. If it was consistent the whole way through, it'd be a different story, but it's not, and it hurts me. So Hot Pocket score there. Directing, I thought was pretty well directed. The movie was pretty well paced. I'm like, oh, we're at the end of the movie, and voila, we were at the end of the movie. It was very well paced and very well done. I'm going to give it a hand grenade score here as well. Like I said, the action sequences were really well shot and well made. And now the acting. Anthony Mackie, man, he's great. I do think they made him a bit more stoic than he has been in the MCU so far. And that kind of bothered me a little bit, but he did still break out enough in these moments of comedy, and his supporting cast was also pretty good. But I think this movie was heavily suffering from a lack of consistent side character. In Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I really enjoyed the buddy aspect of it, of Sam and Bucky. And you can tell that this movie is hurting from a lack of Sebastian Stan in it. And that's the real issue, because they do have a guy who shows up and does a great job playing off of Anthony Mackie, but he's just not in the movie enough to really make it super worthwhile. Danny Ramirez is really good when he's there. He plays that fun character really well, and when he's on screen with Anthony Mackie, it's a great dynamic, but they decide to sideline him for no real good reason, in my opinion, and it hurts the ending of the movie a bit for me. And that third act is really where it's a little weak for me after the grand reveal. I think that grand reveal is great, but then the actual third act, the transition from second to third act was really good, but the third act itself was pretty weak. And so, yeah. Again, I do like the performances. They were really good. So I'm giving it a hand grenade score. Expectations and experience. Like I said, this was better than I expected. It's actually more rewatchable than I expected it to be. It's just pretty solid. It's enjoyable. It's got a good enough story that you can forgive its CGI at parts, even though I do think that the Red Hulk CGI is just a bit distracting, and not good enough for the rest of the film, but it's still a solid watch. I'm not going to say I didn't have fun and enjoy this movie, because I did. So I'm going to say that this is a hand grenade movie. I do recommend go checking it out in the biggest screen possible, because it's worth it, but it's like not to the same standards of either pure storytelling or fun that other MCU titles are. It's certainly not the worst, but it did come out at a weird time, especially with its premise and all, but pretty solid nonetheless. But that is all I have to really say about this movie. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on Brave New World if you've seen it or now you're planning to see it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, I will leave you guys to it.